Madam Chair.
Mr. Schrader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess I'd like to open with a general question here. I mean, one of the things that's concerned me, I like a lot of what I've heard, and I appreciate the succinctness of the testimony from all the witnesses. Have been very, very good and on point, and hopefully our committee will have an opportunity to deal with some of these. But all these cost money, and when I go back to the district, I keep getting hit up on how much money you all spending, and then I also get hit up on how come you're not doing anything for small business. And I would suggest that in the Recovery Act, we did a lot of the things, at least, during this past year, that are good for small business. And how do we, and I guess I'd ask, how do you get the message out to your members that this Congress has stepped up, at least in the very near term with the Recovery Act, and done a lot of these things already to make sure they didn't expire this year so they can continue on and hopefully during this year at least be all right. And I guess my question, if we extend some of these things, like we're already talking about doing the estate tax, we're already talking about doing the AMT, we're talking, I think there's some discussion about the net operating loss issue, particularly for smaller businesses. If we go down that road, how do you and we communicate that successfully to small business so that they realize this Congress has helped them? Because we have not done that so far. I need your help, and I'd ask each of the members of the panel here, maybe start Mr. Hall and go the other way.
Well, I still would use, I'm not a PR person, so apologize for that, but
you're a real businessman.
I would still use the word commitment. That's one of the things I talked about in my oral comments, and I think that's the word small business wants to hear. And I think it's easy to say that word, but when you pass things, extending these type of things for investment in property, for useful lives of equipment, for the AMT exemption, and again, that represents a situation that only the people caught in that middle bracket are going to be affected if it's not extended. Passing those type of things, I think, says commitment to small business, and I think that's the way to communicate it to small business. And I think I'm sitting here in this chair, and that's what I hear. I hear a commitment to that.
But do you communicate back to your membership that Congress has done X and this should help you, please take advantage of it?
Absolutely. In fact, I'd love to selfishly say because of our testimony, some things happen to promote small business, but absolutely we communicate procedures like that. And we communicate again back, we communicate that the commitment to this committee to small business is very important.
Thank you.
It's real easy with the restaurant industry because for every dollar spent in the restaurant industry, it's another $2.34 that expands out. In the issue with accelerated depreciation, the same amount of taxes does need to be paid. It's just paid later. More cash flow early on when you need it, and then you pay it later. So there's no loss of tax dollars. It's just when it's paid on that speed up of depreciation. On the other issues, when you save a business on the block, especially the family-operated restaurant, you're saving a lot in that neighborhood, a lot of that economy, and those are jobs that are saved.
Well, I agree. I agree with all that, but my problem is I don't think we've communicated that successfully to our restaurants on the street. They don't realize we've already done some stuff, and if we do more stuff, if we've already failed in communicating in the first part, how do we get
I'm a restaurant operator, and I have a very big smile when my restaurant is full.
Good.
And the dollars are being spent, and the employment is up, and dollars going out. As far as the actual taxation dollars, I don't know.
Well, talk to some of your buddies if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Thank you.
The biodiesel tax incentive plays such a critical role for the industry. Our membership is keenly aware in terms of what is going on with the incentive, when it's going to expire. You just have to check my voicemail to see that they're very aware of what's going on with that. They've been very appreciative of what this committee's done in terms of providing a forum to discuss renewables and talk about the benefits that come from displacing petroleum with renewable fuels, and in terms of communicating to good policy will trickle down, and our membership will understand and benefit, and the country as a large will benefit. If you have a longer-term extension, you continue to get the benefits of displacing petroleum with renewables.
I was here just 2 weeks ago with about 450 other franchisors and franchisees on the Hill, and one of the big messages we push out is we need to thank our representatives, especially the Small Business Committee, for all the good work they are doing for us. So we recognize, and it's constantly pushed. We have a government relations side, of course, on our Franchise Association website, and we're constantly pushing the positives as well as where we need help. But I would say that we try to keep a lot of balance there, and on the Hill we probably said as many thank yous as we said we need more.
Okay.
I can tell you that when Congress enacted the NOL carryback, a 15-year for the businesses with less than $15 million in gross receipts, the IRS put out some very quick advice on how to go for a quick refund on that. We put that material into our newsletter on our website so that our small retailers could figure out how to take advantage, because as was pointed out, they don't have the advisors who are right there to say, let's go right away and reapply. And I did get phone calls with people asking how to use it, and we tried to help them through it. So we certainly do that. But I do want to stress that in this economy, from the retail side, obviously what all of our small business and large business members need is more consumer spending. It's 70% of GDP. Until the consumer comes back, the economy can't come back. And what probably is going to help the most with that, we all know the answer, it's more employment. The employment numbers are making people who have good jobs afraid to go out and spend in our retail stores, in the restaurants that are represented at this table, with your members. So we need to give them the confidence. We need to do that through employment. And so with that, I urge you to also support expanding that NOL carryback for larger than $15 million in gross receipts. I've talked about some not very big businesses today because of the slim margins in the retail industry. You'd be surprised how little money it is that some of these companies need for their NOL carryback, but they've got a lot of employees. And I think that we wouldn't want to see more of those jobs cut, and I think it's an important issue across the board, and I urge your support.
Thank you. I yield back.
Ms. Dahlkemper.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you. I apologize for coming in late. I had a hearing in another committee to go to first, but so I hope I'm not actually repeating questions that were already asked. But